Jesse J. Real coming to you here today on September 10th, 2024. What I'm talking about today is I know everybody's probably seen this thing all over the internet where all these Haitian migrants are coming in and they're killing the park ducks and the cats and the dogs and everything else and barbecuing them down here at the, town hall here. Grilling up the barbecue kitties and doggies. So what's the next step, guys? You always got to think of what the next step is. Well, it looks like the next step is cannibalism. Are they going to start killing the homeless people and barbecuing them out at the town hall, town square down here? Oh yeah, we're going to have human being barbecue, human beings, and we're going to have a beer and wine and everything else, right? How far? I think in Haiti, remember, guys, in Haiti, they got the voodoo. Remember the voodoo they got in Haiti? All the witchcraft, all the mystical crap, all the everything down there, right? The voodoo dolls, all this stuff. Where all these people believe in these otherworldly, magical things and beings. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of satanic worship, because that's all I can really see this as being, is, all this mystical, magical voodoo crap is purely evil. I mean, in the first place, who would hate somebody and want harm done to them so bad that they would make a little bitty doll that represents a person and stick needles all in their heart and in their head and everywhere else, and, oh, I want you dead, 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 stab them with the needle, dead, dead, dead. And then you believe that this is actually going to hurt them and kill them. How depraved is that? How envious is that? How demoralizing is that? So, I think cannibalism and human sacrifice is involved in these cult evil religions, and so it just makes sense that the next step to the end of the road here is cannibalism.
Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me. Smile with you. Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with it.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
You call the Humane Society, see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased.
I mean, we really already have cannibalism going on in our country right now. I mean, all we gotta do is go over and look at the hardcore, bizarro porn or whatever it is. But go look at this list of things that's going on. It just goes down, 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 down to the bottom of the depths of hell. And it just seems logical that if people are going to pick up the pets off the street and the parks, the ducks in the parks and the whatever you can, throw some hot sauce on and barbecue, then it just seems like cannibalism is the next step here. I mean, we already know what the wacko pharmaceuticals and other major corporations around the world have been, using fetus stuff and cloning that and putting it in the food and this, that, and the other. I mean, if you take a fetus and you clone it and it's human in every way, except it was just, put together in some lab somewhere, is it still human? And if you eat it, if you put that in your medicine and you ingest it, is that like eating a human being? I would think that it's got to be pretty close. So we got a record of the government, of Big Pharma, of the food people, of the medicine people, of everybody already trying to put human cells in all the food and all the medicine and all this stuff. So we're already well on our way to cannibalism right now. And so the question is how far does it go? How far do we let this go? And then, there's 3 people get murdered down here at the park. 3 homeless people. And next thing you know, you got 3 barbecue pits set up and you got these people on the rotisserie stick. And now you're down here cooking the human beings and getting ready for your big cannibal festival. And somebody comes around and says, hey man, those are human beings, let's call the police. And the police come down there and say, well, you know what, we don't know if these people were murdered, we don't know if they actually consented to this happening to them. These people are illegals and we're in a sanctuary city, so we can't really even say nothing to them or arrest them. Nothing to see here. I mean, if you got a homeless problem, maybe Gavin Newsom might want to clean that homeless problem up by bringing in a bunch of cannibals to eat all the homeless people. That might be a solution they might go for here. So these are the questions you need to ask. How far does it go? What's the next step? We see nothing's above limits. All these stories that we're reading about, all the park ducks and the kitties and the dogs and all this stuff getting barbecued up. Not yet heard of anybody that's been arrested. Not yet heard of anybody that's been disciplined or, deported or anything else. It's just a story. It's happening. These people were brought in by the government, so they can't be hauled off by the government, right? They're all under UN sanction sanctuary cities where they can practically, like that one cop said, I think it was it in Ohio or Colorado? I think it was in Colorado where the gangs came in and took over the condos or the apartments. And a few days later, I guess they come in and ran the illegal criminals off. And some of the people came back to their apartment and they were sitting there talking to the police and saying, well, why aren't you arresting these people? The heck with just, slapping them on the hand and running them off. Why aren't you arresting them? And the cop said, well, you know what? If we knew that this illegal Venezuelan, if we knew for sure and even saw him kill 2 people, murder 2 people, we got to let him go. We can't hold him. We're a sanctuary city, and that says we can't arrest these people. So we don't have an America then. We don't have a constitution. The local law enforcement is not local law enforcement. The state enforcement is not the state law enforcement. The federal law enforcement is not the federal law enforcement. You've all sold out. That's what you've done. And that's why we got this crime spree going on. It's almost like the UN and a bunch of billionaire oligarchs came in and bought up our country, and they said, you know what, we're going to do what we want to do, and we're going to let go on what we want to go on because we bought you. And we're not going to arrest anybody. We're not going to pursue any criminal activity because there's no crime. But if it's an American citizen that now is a foreign citizen in our country that we own now, if they come up and bitch a little bit about it, if they come up and make a big stink about it, if they go down here to the city hall and complain about it, now we can arrest them and put them in prison while we steal all their tax money and put this charade on like they're paying taxes so you can have a country, so you can have law and order and a United States Constitution. And it's all lies. We'll bail out all the cities. We'll bail out all the sanctuary cities. We'll bail out all the sanctuary states and all this stuff. But now we get all the tax money, and we're going to use all the tax money to get rid of the American people, one way or another. The American brand, the American people, the American-born citizen is on its way out. It's dying. We're killing it, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. And that seems to be what we have going on in our country. So we better wise up. We better get strong. We better get armed up, loaded up, ammoed up, prayed up, and because there's going to be something happen. There's going to be a gang of these migrants. There's going to be huge gangs of them get together, and they're going to go to these small towns. Remember when, what's his name, Dean, came out with that song, Not in My Small Town, and all the, big-time billionaire oligarchs, all the open borders people, all the sellouts and communists went berserk over that song. Remember how there was so much stirred up about that song, Not in My Small Town. Mess around and find out, right? And they got really pissed about that song. So now it looks like, you know what, we're going to take some shit to the small towns. That seems to be the retribution now. You want to tell us how you were going to keep your small town safe and keep the globalists and the one world open borders people out of your small town? Well, we're going to send in hordes of 50 or 100 armed people, and we're going to pay them to come in and take over your small town. And when your small town has a, 70, 80, 100 person police force, and we send in that big gang mob, and we've already paid the police and told the police to stand down, well, good luck getting your ass out of this jam that we're going to create for you. So we see where it looks like it's headed, guys. My small town down here, I don't know, well, they got 50, 60 police officers on a good day. I mean, they could probably send a group of 50 or 60 illegal migrants down here loaded up and armed up because they gave them the state ID and gave them tens of thousands of dollars to go legally buy all the weapons they want to buy. And they could just send 100 of them down here and take over the entire police force, the county government, the courthouse, everything. And there's nothing nobody's going to be able to do about it, because when you stand up against it, out here in the country, we got a lot of people with a lot of guns. I hear them practically every other day. People out here shooting, anywhere from small firearms to large firearms. And when everybody gets together and says, no, you're not doing this in my town, and we're going to go down here and clean this up, you're going to be the one that's arrested. You're going to be the one that's called the violent ones, not the people they paid to bring in and take over your town and your way of life and make you a slave using your own tax money. And it's happening. It's going on now. This is just going to get pumped up. When 30 armed guys go and take over something, 20 or 30, and they go take over a complex, a condo complex, whatever it is. When they go in, and then all the people are calling the police one after the other, hundreds of calls, come on, they're down here taking over, they're armed, they're, kicking us out of our place, they're taking everything we own, our livelihoods, everything, and we need the police to come down here and handle this situation right now. And then all the police show up, and then they say, well, you know what, if the guy's if we got eyewitnesses that seen this guy here, this illegal immigrant, if we have eyewitnesses that said they seen him, and we know 100% sure there's videotape of him murdering 2 American people, and we cannot arrest him, and then all the other migrants in this country, we've probably got 70, 80, 90 million illegal migrants in our country now, and all these videos go around, they see where the police are saying, well, you know what, we just can't do nothing, we're not going to do nothing, even if they kill people, even if they rape people, if they steal everything you got, if they beat you like a dog, we're not going to do anything. And this just emboldens them more, because now they're getting a message, well, we really can just go take over things, we really can just do what we want, we are the masters in this country, we are the ones that can own this country now. All we got to do is go out here and assert our will on the American people, and the police are actually going to stand with us and help us and just ignore all the murder, the rape, the stealing, the theft, the beatdowns, everything. They're just going to ignore all that, and then, if one of our guys get killed in the crossfire, well, they'll just arrest the Americans. And this is why we got what we got, because year after year after year, all the illegals, for the last 20 years, all the illegals have said, the police have told all the illegals that you can do whatever you want. There's no repercussions. If you want to go out here and drive drunk and kill a family of 6 tonight, because they're so damn drunk, you don't even know where you are, and you're driving on the wrong side of the highway, and you run into a car and kill 6 people, well, no problem. We'll give you a couple of days to sober up, and then you just get right out of jail. You're back on the road before the people that you hit are back on the road. This happened to my wife, I don't know, probably 10, 12 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. Everybody I know, every American I know, practically, has been in an accident that was caused by an illegal immigrant that didn't have a license, didn't have insurance. The car wasn't, and, many times the cars are illegal and all this stuff. And the one runs into my wife. Thank God she wasn't hurt. But her car was put out of commission. The car that the guy was driving was a car from a junkyard that was pieced together, and somebody had sold their junky car to the junkyard, and they never got the title taken out of their name for the junky car. And so they made a car out of a bunch of junk parts and put it together, and they went and sold it to an illegal, and he went out here and he crashed into my wife, and it comes back that the person that owned the title to the car, who sold the car for $300 as scrap because it wouldn't run, figured, they're just going to make some parts. They don't need the title. They didn't ask for the title or nothing. They're probably hoping you don't even sign the title over. And so they kept the title, and they never had the title signed out of their name. And then when they pieced this junk car together, they stuck the title on that car. So when the illegal came out and hit my wife and tore her car up, now the legal system went back to the lady who sold the junk car, because the car title went to that junk car that the illegal used to wreck my wife. And now she's the one on the hook for the insurance, because she never got that title taken out of her name. And they went and, made the piece of crap junk car that wasn't, really a running car, and they made it into a running car. And they didn't put a tag or nothing on it. If they would have, they wouldn't have been able to get one, because the title wasn't in their name. So now what they're saying is, well, you know what? It was up to you. It's your responsibility as a car owner and a title holder, that when you sell the car, even if it's for junk, you better get the title out of your name, because they can piece together a junk car and sell it to an illegal immigrant, and then he can go out here and kill 5 people, and now your name's still on the title on the car, and now you get to pay for all the damage. And that's what happened in this case. The woman, imagine her surprise when she got a call from the police saying, well, your car's been involved in this major accident, and a bunch of people have got hurt, and one got killed, and now we need to get up with your insurance company, because you're going to have a lot of bills to pay. And she's like, well, that ain't my car. I sold that car. It didn't even run. It didn't even have an engine or anything like that. I sold it to a junkyard for parts. Well, too bad. You should have got the title taken out of your name. See? Anytime you sell something and you don't get the title taken out of your name, whether it's a car or a trailer or whatever, and you leave an open title and you don't go to DMV and see it with your own eyes that it's taken out of your name, and somebody can do anything with the vehicle, and then when the vehicle is used for a bad purpose, say somebody takes a vehicle, the vehicle without an engine or a transmission or a rear end, and they go and fix it back up, and now it's a car again, but you don't know it is, and then they take the car and they go down here and run through a crowd of 50 people and kill 20 people with the car. Guess who's going to prison? You are. And that's why you never need to leave an open title. That's why you always need to go to the DMV when you sell the vehicle with the people so they can make sure to transfer the title out of your name, and then you will be covered. People are too lackadaisical. They don't want to go by the rules. They don't care anymore. In fact, in North Carolina here, I'm pretty sure, I've read different things on this because I looked it up, because you see all these people, that buy a $50,000 car, and they pay on the car for 3-4 years, and then, they still owe 2 or 3 years on it because it's a $50,000 car, and then the motor blows up or something like that, and it's going to cost $20,000 to repair it. Well, they don't have $20,000, and they need a new car. So they're not going to keep paying payments on the car, and they know that if they don't keep paying payments on the car, then the car dealership's going to come repo the car. But they need the money for another car now. Well, how are you going to get money for another car now? Well, you can sell the car to somebody for parts. Oh, I'll sell the car for $4,000, and that way I get me enough money to either buy me a cheap used car or get another car somewhere. And that, you can't, when you sell a car like that, of course, you don't have the title because you never paid the car off. And that used to be illegal in North Carolina, but I think now, when I went and looked this up, that there are some ways that people can lawfully get around these laws. And that's why you'll see, a 2018 or 2020 car out here that the engine's blown, and the people say, well, you know what, I'll sell the car for $4,000, but you don't get a title. Well, the reason you don't get a title is because they don't own the car. So what they're doing is they're illegally selling a car that they don't own. And this used to be very illegal in North Carolina, and in some ways it is, but like I said, it looks like they've come up with some ways where people can get around these laws. And you sell a motorcycle, you sell a trailer, you sell a truck, you sell a car, anything with the title, and you don't get it taken out of your name, and then that winds up being in some horrific accident, and somebody gets killed or in a coma for 20 years and all that. That's going to be a lot of money that somebody needs to pay out, and you can bet your ass that the insurance company is going to come after the person that still has the title in their name. So the illegal comes and he crashes, and I've seen this several times. Like I said, practically everybody in my family has been hit by some illegal, in a wreck caused by an illegal. So the illegal comes and runs the stoplight, runs into my wife, knocks her off the road. The car is disabled, and his piece of junk car is disabled, and he's back out on the road before my wife is. How great is that? The cops show up and say, well, yeah, there was witnesses. Yeah, he ran the red light. He caused the accident and all that and everything else. And the cops say, well, you know what? See you later. Have a good day. Nothing to see here. Good luck. And then 4 hours later, he's back in another cheap car somewhere driving. And now it takes us a week or two to get everything figured out and straightened out so we can get another car and get my wife back on the road. This is America now. All right, guys, that's what I got for you on this one. Hope you guys have a great one. We'll see you on the next one. God bless and take care of yourself. You've been listening to the CJ Real Show.